Hello dear aspirants, welcome to another useful video from Time, the test prep experts. This is part of a series of videos that we have prepared for you, wherein we present the important question types in various sections that are likely to appear in the major examinations. Okay, so today this is an English session and we are going to specifically look at the phrase replacement question type, which is an important part of the SBI PO Prelim Exams. Okay, this is a question type you can expect in the Prelim Exams, and as you know, the exams are round the corner. So let us take a look at some questions from this particular category. I will not get into a theory lecture here. As we solve the questions, we will see what rules we need to apply. Okay. Before that, we have a little reminder for you. Please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Time for Bank Exams, to get more such useful videos in all subject areas. Okay. So, let us start with the questions. Phrase replacement, as you know, you have a sentence with a part of it highlighted, okay, a phrase highlighted. That phrase has some error, may or may not have some error in it. Okay, now let us look at the instructions. Which of the phrases 1, 2, 3 and 4 should replace the phrase given in bold to make the sentence grammatically correct? If the sentence is correct as it is and there is no correction required, mark 5, that is no correction required. Got it? This is the pattern. Okay, you have 4 options. If you feel the given sentence is okay as it is, then you do not need to make any correction. Then you can say, you can pick option 5, no correction required. Shall we check these questions out? The first sentence, giving me sweets, he also gave me a present on my birthday. Okay, now the highlighted part is this, as you can see. Giving me sweets means what? While he was giving me sweets, he did something. Giving me sweets, what could he do? He sang a song, right? Something like that. But or giving me sweets, he wished me happy birthday, maybe. Okay. But giving me sweets, he also gave me a present on my birthday. Can he do both at the same time? No. The implication is he gave you one thing and then he gave the other thing, right? So this would mean that he did both the acts simultaneously. Let us look for a better option. Having given sweets, he also gave me a present on my birthday. Okay, having given sweets, having given me sweets would have been perfect. Having given me sweets, he also gave me something else. But having given sweets is not correct. We don't know whom he gave it to. That me is missing. The object is missing. Okay. As I have sweets, he also gave me a present. It does not make logical or grammatical sense, right? If I have sweets, why should he give you a present? Why should he give me a present, I mean? And also this is in the present tense and this is in the past tense. Okay. He gave me sweets, comma, he also gave me a present on my birthday. It is correct, but then you don't need that comma there. He gave me sweets, full stop. Next sentence, he also gave me. That would have been better. Or maybe a semicolon, but not a comma. Okay. Besides giving me sweets, he also gave me a present on my birthday. Okay. Besides giving me sweets, he also gave me a present on my birthday is fine. Right? That is fine. Besides doing this, he also did that. So this seems fine. Which is the option now? Okay. Besides giving me sweets means he gave me sweets and along with that he gave something else also. Okay. Now, next, looking at the devastation caused by the earthquake, there was none but weep. That does not make sense, but weep stands for crying, right? So there was some terrible damage, devastation caused by the earthquake. So people who looked at that would cry, right? That is the situation here. Let us see. We have to replace this none but wept, none but weep, right? None is also okay. There was but weep, we have to replace. Okay. There was none who wept means nobody cried seeing the devastation caused by the earthquake. That doesn't make sense, right? None who did not weep. There was none who did not weep means what? There was nobody who did not weep. Everybody wept. Now looking at the devastation caused by earthquake, most normal human beings would weep, right? So this makes sense. Let us keep it there. There was none but wept. What does that mean? Wept is the past tense of weep, but none but wept does not make sense, right? There was none but did not weep. What does that mean? There was none. There was none would have to be followed by who here, right? That is logic. So now we have there was none who did not weep. In case you don't understand anything clearly, you can put your queries in the comment box. Okay, we'll try to get back to you. Yeah. Okay. The houses in the villages are more beautiful than the cities. The highlighted part is more beautiful than the cities. Correct? Sounds right? A very, very common mistake. Can you look at it once more carefully? The houses in the villages are more beautiful than the cities. If that is so, let me tell you what we are comparing. The houses in the villages are more beautiful than the cities. We are saying the houses in the villages are more beautiful than the cities themselves, which means houses in the village areas are more beautiful than, let us say, than Hyderabad, than Mumbai, than Bangalore. Is that what we are saying? No. What are we saying? Houses in the villages are more beautiful than houses in the cities. You got it, right? You got the logic? Yes. So, what do we need here? We need some pronoun which indicates that we are comparing houses with houses. Either we can go the whole way and say houses in the villages are more beautiful than the houses in the cities, or we can take a shortcut. What is the shortcut? Let us see. Are more beautiful in the cities. How can the houses in the villages go to the cities? No. Are more beautiful than that of cities. Correct? Let us put this here in case you are confused. Are more beautiful than those in the cities. Houses is singular or plural? Houses is plural. So that is a singular pronoun and those is a plural pronoun. Hence, we need to say those in the cities. Here, those stands for the word, for the noun houses. Got it? Okay. So, that of cities is wrong. First of all, the cities is not there and that is not enough for a plural word. Okay. Again, more beautiful than the cities. That is also wrong. Okay. Fine. Are beautiful. Okay. They just omitted the more in this, but that is also wrong. Hence, what is our answer? More beautiful than those in the cities. Fine. I hope you understood this. Let us move on to the next one. So, basically you can see that phrase replacement is about knowing your basics of grammar. Though we are calling it phrase replacement, each phrase here or each wrong phrase here involves a grammatical error. So if you know the grammatical principles, basic principles, you don't even need theory. You just need to pay attention to what you read, to what you hear all around you. Okay, these are very, very basic rules. Yeah. Had I have been informed about it in advance, I would have arrived much earlier. Had I have been, something wrong there, right? So, there are two ways of correcting this, okay? One way I will tell you, because this starts with had I, there is one way of correcting it which is not given in the options here. So, that I will tell you, and then there is another way which is given in the options. Had I been informed about it in advance. Had I means if I had been. Had I been informed about it in advance, I would have arrived much earlier. Now, I am not getting into very complex grammatical terms. You don't need any of that. This is a situation where we are talking of a hypothetical event. You did not inform me earlier. If you had informed me earlier, I would have come earlier. Right? So, what is the situation? Had I been informed about it in advance? But that option is not here. So, let us see what is the correct option from what we have here. If I had been informed about it in advance. If I had been informed. Okay. Had been informed. Past perfect means two actions happen in the past. He or should have happened in the past rather. He should have been informed of the event in advance. Then he would have arrived much earlier. Okay, so the informing must have happened, should have, had happened earlier. That is why if I had been informed. I had not been informed about it in advance, I would have arrived. No, we need a conditional sense here. Either we need if or had I been. Okay, that condition should be there. So, I had not. Whether I had been informed, whether I had been informed in advance or not, then it is okay. I had been informed about it in advance, I would have arrived. That doesn't make sense. You have to pay attention to this. This is what gives us the tone of the sentence. Okay. I hope you understood. I am not using any complicated grammar terms deliberately. The idea is not to teach you grammar theory because that is only going to confuse you if you don't know the application. For all these exams, you only need to know how to apply these concepts properly. Okay, so I'm just explaining it in very layman's terms. Okay, I will have my studies completed by this time next year. First, try to think what is the person trying to say. By this time next year, if I am saying this in February 2025, then by February 2026, I will have completed my studies. That is what he is trying to say. Right? Future perfect. That is what he is trying to say. Now, when we say I will have my studies completed, I'll give you two quick examples. Okay? I will have completed this work by tomorrow means by tomorrow this time I will have finished this work. I will have this work completed means I will get somebody to complete this work by tomorrow. That is what he is saying here. I will have my studies completed means he will get, he or she, I am just saying he generally, he will get someone to complete his studies for him. Is that possible? No. So, let us see. My studies will have completed by this time next year. How will his studies get? Here my studies becomes the subject. Can his studies go and complete themselves? Can his books and exams, everything run away and complete themselves? No, the subject should be I, right? Okay. Or we can say my studies will have been completed. Then it is fine. Then it is passive voice, correct passive voice. Okay. Okay. I will have completed my studies. Yes. I will have completed my studies by this time next year is the future perfect tense. Have my studies completed? That would be a question. I will had my studies completed. We are talking of next year, so this does not, will and had anyway here will not go together. Future and past cannot go together. Okay, so our answer is 2. Next, he intends to completing his work by the end of the week. Okay, those who know basic grammar or those who are familiar with basic English usage would have figured out the error already. He intends to and ing together is not used in most contexts. Okay, certain contexts you do use to plus ing form, like he confessed to doing something, but normally we do not use it. Okay, so what are we trying to say? He intends to complete his work. That is what we are trying to say. He intends of completing. Intends is followed by the intend, or intends is followed by the infinitive form. Okay, he is completing his work by the end of the week is okay, but then what happened to intend? You can't just swallow things like that, no? He intends complete his work, no. He intends to complete, as I told you, I intend to do something. Intend is followed by the to infinitive. Okay. Now, same thing. Whatever a fall in the diesel prices hits the headlines, the first to cheer are the car users. Whatever a fall in the diesel prices, what do they mean? Whenever, right? Whenever they get to know of a fall in the diesel prices. So, as a fall in the diesel prices hit the headlines, first of all, hit is in the past tense here, and it is not that as it hits they start cheering. That is a little weird, right? As it hits the headlines they will start cheering. That doesn't make sense. Whenever a fall in the diesel price hit, whenever a fall in the diesel price, it is diesel prices and it should be hits because the subject is fall. What hits? The fall hits the headlines, means it makes headlines. So, it should agree with the singular. Okay. Whatever fall, okay, we know it is not whatever. Whenever a fall in the diesel prices hits. Okay. Correct. Okay. Got it? As I said, if you are not sure of something, please ask us in the comment box. Do not hesitate, guys. We'll try and get back to you. Okay. Presently, lawmakers in Japan are coming by pressure to rein the verbal abuse and outright hate speech. Okay, to rein in something means to control. Rein is what we use to hold back horses, right? So, to rein in is the phrasal verb which means to control. Okay, so what are they saying? That they are saying that lawmakers in Japan are under pressure to rein in the verbal abuse and hate speech, etc., etc. Okay, you can read the sentence. But let us focus on the error. Presently, lawmakers in Japan came under pressure. Presently means it's happening now. So, can we have past tense? No. Presently, lawmakers in Japan are coming under pressure. Yes, lawmakers is plural, so are, to rein in. Correct. Rein in is the right phrasal verb. Is coming by pressure. Is by wrong. Coming under pressure, and is wrong because it is lawmakers, plural. present, had come under pressure. Again, it's presently, so you don't need past perfect tense. Okay. So, this is the 2 is the right answer. Fine. Okay. Each Sunday in China, 1 out of 3 family. 1 out of 3 families. Right? 1 family out of 3 families. So, here this word corresponds to the number 3. So, it should be 3 families. Settles down to watch. Settles is correct because settles corresponds to 1. And family, the number of families is 3. Understood, no? Okay. Now, watch this reality show. The story you can read. I am going to focus on the question, okay? Because whatever it is, it will not change the meaning of the sentence, okay? The first part we have figured out. Every Sunday in China, 1 out of 3 families, okay? Each Sunday in China, 1 out of 3 families, okay? Now, every Sunday in China or each Sunday in China, every Sunday, it is something that happens routine. It is a routine we are talking about, habitually, okay? Not each Sunday, that does not make sense. Each child got something, right? Each is used to show apportioning of something or distribution of something. Again, I'm not getting into grammatical use. Just think of the usage. Do you say I go to church or temple or mosque or whatever every Sunday or every Friday? What do you say? You say every Sunday, every Friday, not each Sunday, each Friday, right? Okay. So, every Sunday in China, 1 out of 3 families. Every Sunday at China, it's not at China, okay? In a country, yeah. Each Sunday, 3 families, that something is missing there. So, this is the answer, okay? In the cafes of Tripoli, Tripoli is a capital city, Libya, right? Okay. The talk is of who is running the country, especially in the aftermath of the assassination. That seems okay, no? Let's see. At the cafes in Tripoli, the talk happens in the cafe, right? In the cafes Tripoli, for the cafes in Tripoli, in the cafes in Tripoli. No, these cafes belong to Tripoli, in the cafes of Tripoli. You can say the cafes are in Tripoli, but then we say the cafes of Tripoli. These cafes belong to Tripoli. In the cafes of Tripoli seems fine, so no correction required. Okay. Unnecessarily, we will not correct anything. That is the rule. When counting began, both contestants were neck and neck. Neck and neck means very close. And the contest went down in the wire. Went down in the wire. Okay. What could it mean? See, they were neck and neck means there was some sort of uncertainty. This is not a very common idiom, but there was some sort of uncertainty, right? To indicate uncertainty, an informal way of saying it is, it went down to the wire, means it was hanging. Basically, we say it was hanging in the air. That is what it means. Okay, to go down to the wire is an informal expression to say something was hanging in the air. So, went down to the wire. Okay, the other options are all incorrect. It is a little bit of an uncommon idiom. Okay, now when parents make sacrifices for children, so please note that these are all idiomatic expressions. In the beginning, what we did were all phrases. There you had to identify the error based on grammar. Now here we are looking at idioms. So if you know the idiom, then you can replace it correctly. When parents make sacrifices for children, it's a labor in love. What is it called? It's called labor of love. Okay, a labor of love means something you do without any expectations, so something you do unconditionally. Okay, so when parents make sacrifices for children, it is a labor in love. No, it is a labor of love. Since these are idioms, I am not explaining the other options. Idioms, you know, do not really follow any rules. Okay, they just exist like that. Now, this is a phrase again, not an idiom really. Another company, Denver Services Private Limited of Rajouri Garden in Delhi, has been accused for being ran. Did you find the errors? Accuse is followed by what? Accuse of, right? Being will be followed by accused of. Being will be followed by what? The past participle form. Okay, let us see. Past participle form of run is what? Run, ran, run. Okay, run, ran, run. So, accused for being run. No, accuse is always followed by of. That you have to just learn by heart. Accused of being ran by. No. The correct past participle form here is run. Accused of being run. Accused for having been run. No. Okay. Just need to know the correct preposition and the correct form of the verb. Now, these 24 hours correspond to the period when Deepavali revelers are people who celebrate, took to burn cracker, defying a ban on it in places such as Delhi. You may get confused with this sentence. Are we saying they took 24 hours to burn the crackers? No. These 24 hours, this took to doesn't mean they took 24 hours to burn the crackers. This is another took to. I'll explain. These 24 hours corresponded to the period when. So, during that period, okay, it is not they took 24 hours. It corresponds to the period when Deepavali revelers took to means they resorted to doing something, or they started, or they indulged in doing something. Took to burning crackers. They took to burning crackers. Took to is either develop a habit or start an activity. So, what they are saying is, during these 24 hours, the Deepavali revelers took to burning crackers. Okay, they started doing this. So, here, Deepavali revelers took to burning crackers. All the others are wrong. Fine. And one more. If I were to choose my ideal vacation destination, it would be a secluded beach where I could relax and unwind. If I were, so what does that mean? Right now, this person does not have any scope for choosing their ideal vacation destination. If I were to do that, if I were a bird, if I were the the Prime Minister, etc. It is a hypothetical, imaginary situation which is not going to happen, okay, at least in the near future. So, to express that, we say, if I were. This is correct. Because here, it would be shows that the whole thing is imaginary. If I were a bird, I would fly high in the sky. Okay, if I were to choose my destination, it would be. That is why it is not if I am. If I am to choose this, I will do this. But would shows that this is an imaginary situation. Got it? Okay. So, that was our little discussion on phrase replacement. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to join us on all our different social media platforms for many more such very useful videos in all subject areas. Okay, the links are all given in the description box. If you would like to join us in our classroom coaching, do contact your nearest time center. We have an almost pan-India presence, and for online courses, you can enroll using the link given here. See you soon in another useful video. Keep practicing. All the best. Thank you.